Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
Following that, the five decided to travel through the night without stopping. Their bodies were tainted heavily with the smell of blood, and there was nowhere they could wash it off. This meant it was easy for demonic beasts with sensitive noses to come to them. On the third day, the five arrived at the Sun Moon Lake. The lake was enormous, seemingly formed by a meteorite impact, now filled with clear, pristine water. From above, the Sun Moon Lake was about 300 meters wide, a light blue gem amidst the surrounding green grasslands. After everyone landed, they walked on the edge of the Sun Moon Lake and started their search. Occasionally, a trace of golden light could be seen in the wet soil.
Let's search quickly. There should be a gong metal nearby.
The most excited person to come to the Sun Moon Lake was definitely Quinn. He had desperately sought this moment for a long time. After a while, there was some movement in the undulating rocks by the lake.
Come look!
Andrew Liu pointed at the rock under his feet, which had golden light in it. Quinn's face instantly lit up with joy. His eyes flashed, and he rushed forward in a hurry. Without a care about anything else, he slapped the rock with his palm. Bang! The rock shook and the soil on the edge fell, revealing the gong metal within.
It really is gong metal. I've finally found it.
The metal was very hard. It was essentially unscratchable and impenetrable. Quinn was well aware of this, so he came prepared. He produced a palm-sized hammer. The rune on its surface continuously swirled about, forming a spiritual barrier.
Is that really the innate spirit treasure?
Even Brad was shocked when he saw this. Zane Martell was stunned as well. The so-called innate spirit treasure was an organic creation by heaven and earth, and not by human beings. Treasures like this often carried with them unexpected effects. There were so few of them left in the world that they could be found only by chance. In the entire Azure Dragon Academy, there was only one sky mirror.
That's right. If it isn't an innate spirit treasure, it definitely wouldn't be able to shake the hard and strong gong metal.
Quinn tapped lightly on the metal with the small hammer, causing bits of it to fall easily like they were nothing but fruits. With a clang, a thumb-sized piece of gong metal appeared. However, using the innate spirit treasure required an astonishing amount of vital energy. After dozens of strikes, Quinn had exhausted his vital energy. He could only let the others continue. The earlier they collected the metal, the earlier they could return. After all, the Eastern Prairie was a place filled with danger. It was best for them to leave as soon as possible. Then it was Zane Martell's turn. He held a small hammer in his hand, automatically absorbing his vital energy.
What a magical innate spirit treasure.
Clang, clang! He delivered 1, 2, 10, 20 taps on the gong metal as the pieces kept falling. Just as Quinn beamed with joy, feeling that they had collected enough and was about to ask everyone to return, something unexpected happened. Andrew Liu, who was fine a second ago, was decapitated in the next second. Blood splashed several meters in the air before falling to the ground. This caught the other four completely by surprise as they stared horrified at Andrew Liu's body. Who could have done this? Were they being watched? The Eastern Prairie was indeed filled with danger. But this was something else. The journey to find the gang metal had just turned into a nightmare. With Andrew Liu's lifeless body before them, the remaining four had no choice but to confront the terrifying reality. What or who had done this? And more importantly, were they next?
Ah! What's going on?
Emily Lane let out a fearful, blood-chilling scream as she took a few steps back, her face ghostly white. A man in the intermediate level glanced coldly at the corpse on the ground, after which he turned his gaze towards Zane Martell's group, frowning as he spoke.
Are you from the Seven Kingdoms Alliance?
This man was dressed in a style completely different from the other four. He looked rather strange with three-dimensional facial features and green pupils. Considering his appearance and behavior, and the fact that something like this was happening at the Eastern Prairie, it was easy to guess his identity.
He's from the Eastern Palm.
Brad blurted out as he tightened his grip on the huge axe in his hand. A fierce battle seemed imminent. Only Quinn remained cold and firm, his mind clearer than anyone else's.
That's impossible. This is the outskirts of the Eastern Prairie, close to the Seven Kingdoms Alliance. How could the people of the Eastern Palm be here? Could it be that the powerful state of the Eastern Palm has launched an attack?
He cried out in alarm. Sure enough, several streaks of dazzling light descended from the sky. There were a total of 7 people, each of whom was above the 4th level of the intermediate level. They quickly surrounded Zane Martell and the other 3. These 7 people were dressed in the same style as the first person. Without waiting for them to speak, Quinn immediately roared,
Quick, retreat! Retreat back to the level of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance and report to the sect that those from the Eastern Palm are ready to attack after crossing the plains of the Eastern Prairie.
As he spoke, he immediately rushed into the sky and flew in the direction he came from. Seeing this, the others were confused, but quickly realized the seriousness of the matter. It didn't take them long to follow suit. The middle-aged man of the 5th level of the intermediate level seemed to be the leader of the group. As he watched the 4 of them escape, he spoke faintly.
We can't let them inform the others about this. Leave no one alive.
Yes, 7 rays of light rose into the air and chased after them relentlessly. The 4 frowned, knowing what would happen if they were caught. They sped up their pace.
We will all be caught at this rate. Let's split up. Even if only one of us managed to return, so be it. We have to make sure this reaches the people of the Seven Kingdoms Alliance.
Everyone was surprised at Zane Martell's suggestion, considering he was of the lowest level. If they ran their separate ways, Zane Martell would likely be the first to perish. Although it hurt Quinn to do so, he gritted his teeth in agreement.
I will teach everyone alchemy free of charge.
After everyone agreed, they fled in different directions. Zane Martell changed his course and headed southwest. 2 minutes later, the 7 rays of light stopped at the spot where the 4 split up. After discussing amongst themselves, they also decided to split up for their chase. Zane Martell was rather lucky. There was only one 4th level, intermediate level martial artist going after him, while the rest had 2 pursuers each.
Little brat, stop right there. I won't kill you if you follow me back to the military camp.
Behind Zane Martell was a white-haired old man in his 50s, speaking to him through the air.
You won't kill me if I stop?
If everyone were this stupid, humans would have been extinct long ago. Rather than stopping, Zane Martell sped up, widening the distance between them. Seeing what Zane Martell was up to, the old man cursed.
Why the hell are you so fast, you little shit? I'll make you regret fleeing once I catch you.
As he spoke, his blood essence exploded, increasing his speed immensely. Zane Martell, feeling the pressure, pushed himself harder. His mind raced with thoughts of survival and the need to warn the Seven Kingdoms Alliance.
I can't let him catch me. I have to reach safety. Everyone's counting on me.
The chase through the vast eastern prairie was a deadly game of cat and mouse. Zane Martell's heart pounded in his chest as he navigated the treacherous terrain, every step a race against time. Would he be able to outrun the old man? Would he succeed in alerting the Seven Kingdoms Alliance about the impending danger from the Eastern Palm? The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome was far from certain. Stay tuned to find out what happens next in this thrilling adventure. Will Zane Martell survive this relentless pursuit, or will the Eastern Palm's sinister plans come to fruition? After 5 minutes of relentless flight, Zane and his pursuer had covered a considerable distance. Zane's eyes darted about, his brow furrowing in concentration before he suddenly stopped. The elderly man tailing him also came to an abrupt halt. A malevolent grin played across his face.
Ha! Finally realized you can't escape, huh? Don't worry, I won't kill you. But you better answer my questions honestly. Are there really only 5 of you out here in the Eastern Prairie? Come on, tell me the truth. Are there others hiding nearby? Where are they?
Zane sneered, clearly not planning to answer the old man's questions. Instead, he fired back with his own challenge.
How about you answer my questions instead? If I like your answers, maybe I won't kill you.
What did you say? You won't kill me?
The old man's composure shattered, his mind reeling at the audacity of Zane's words. The old man totally lost it. He thought Zane would be scared stiff, but this kid had the guts to threaten him.
You got some nerve, bastard. Looks like I need to teach you a lesson.
Suddenly, the vital energy within the old man's body surged through the roof. He executed a complex hand gesture, his fingers splaying wide as a colossal, blood essence claw materialized. The monstrous construct descended upon Zane with terrifying speed, aiming to crush his skull. It was clear that the old man's earlier promise of mercy had evaporated, replaced by an intent to annihilate.
Is that really all you've got?
Zane's voice was filled with contempt. If he had known his opponent's true strength, he wouldn't have wasted energy on such a long chase. With a fluid motion of his hands, twin infernos erupted from his palms, one a brilliant gold, the other a deep crimson. The flames merged into a massive golden fist that collided with the descending blood claw, shattering it instantly. In a flash, Zane's counterattack continued. Moving with the speed and precision of lightning, he reached out to seize his opponent. The old man's pupils constricted in abject terror as he witnessed Zane's true strength unfold. Shock and disbelief etched themselves across his features as he attempted a hasty retreat. However, his efforts proved futile. He found himself unable to escape the demonic hand's grasp. In mere moments, he was ensnared, his body as pliable as clay in Zane's iron grip.
Your turn to talk. Have the great Eastern Palm forces crossed into the Eastern Prairie? What are they planning to do with the Seven Kingdoms Alliance?
Zane's expression was a mask of cold fury as he interrogated his captive. The old man's face, however, remained grimly set. He refused to divulge any information about the Great Eastern Palm's activities.
Very well. If you won't talk, you're in for a world of pain.
With a merciless squeeze of his demonic hand, Zane unleashed a torrent of crushing force. The sound of shattering bones reverberated through the air. Simultaneously, the network of meridians throughout the old man's form ruptured under the immense pressure.
Stop, please, I beg you.
The old man's agonized screams pierced the air as blood gushed from his mouth. It was a gruesome sight.
Last chance to talk. If you don't, you're dead.
I'll tell you everything. Just don't kill me.
At last, the old man's resolve crumbled in the face of overwhelming terror. He proceeded to recount the entire situation in excruciating detail. According to him, the state of the Great Eastern Palm had initiated a massive mobilization a month prior. Their armies were allegedly en route, with a force comprised of 300,000 troops, bolstered by 50 martial artists of the intermediate level. Zane listened carefully, nodding now and then, but inside he was angry at how obviously the old man was lying.
What utter nonsense. Clearly, they've been instructed to feed misinformation if captured. Why would the Great Eastern Palm dispatch a mere 300,000 troops and only 50 intermediate level cultivators? This old fool is clearly lying.
I've told you everything I knew. You'll let me go now, right?
The old man's voice had diminished to a feeble whisper. It was clear that even if Zane let him go, he wouldn't live much longer.
Sure, I'll let you go.
With those ominous words, Zane's fingers moved just a tiny bit. There was a huge boom, and the old man exploded into a fine mist. There wasn't even a tiny piece of him left. Zane flew down to the ground and carefully picked up the old man's stuff. Some weird old-fashioned clothes and a strange-looking storage ring. 30 minutes later, after finding a hidden spot, Zane got ready to check out what was inside the storage ring. But when he tried to use his willpower on the ring, some kind of invisible barrier stopped him.
There's some kind of protection spell, perhaps.
Zane looked surprised. He hadn't expected his defeated enemy to be so cautious. He realized that if he forced his way through the protective spell, it might alert the Great Eastern Palm's forces.
Screw being careful. I need to get this info fast.
I'm breaking through.
Channeling a concentrated stream of vital energy, Zane shattered the protective barrier with surprising ease. He emptied the ring's contents on the ground and carefully examined each item. Many of the objects were completely foreign to him.
Looks like the stories about the Great Eastern Palm's wealth are true. They say their land is full of spiritual energy, and valuable minerals. Compared to them, our Seven Kingdoms alliance is like a poor backwater. You'd think they'd be happy we're not trying to take their stuff. Why on earth would they want to invade us?
Zane frowned deeply, trying to make sense of a puzzle that didn't add up. As he looked through the ring's contents, Zane counted about 200,000 crystals, a decent amount, but not a fortune. Strangely, there weren't any other valuable items, not even a single worthwhile martial arts manual.
That's weird. You'd think someone important from the Great Eastern Palm would have more valuable stuff on them for a big mission like this.
Zane looked frustrated. The situation was serious, and he knew he needed to get back to the Seven Kingdoms Alliance as quickly as possible. Any delay could be disastrous once the Great Eastern Palm's forces arrived.
No time to waste. I've got to get back to the Seven Kingdoms Alliance before it's too late.
Without further hesitation, Zane took to the skies, maintaining a low altitude to minimize the risk of detection. What Zane didn't know was that when he broke through the ring's protective spell, it triggered an alert. Far away, a middle-aged man looked troubled as he sensed something was wrong. This man, known as Mendez, held the rank of team leader among the intermediate-level cultivators.
Someone's dead. I need to find out who was behind this.
Mendez set off determinedly to track down Zane's energy signature. Meanwhile, Zane continued on his way, unaware of the danger coming after him.
Zane flew silently, following Quinn's trail since he didn't have a good map. The Eastern Prairie looked pretty much the same everywhere, which explained why they kept getting lost on their way back.
As the sky darkened with evening colors, Zane, flying through the air, suddenly felt a strong presence quickly approaching from behind.
Oh, crap. Did they find me already? That shouldn't be possible with how I've been flying. Unless...
After checking himself carefully, Zane found a small red bubble stuck to him. He realized with horror that it must have attached to him when he broke the ring's protective spell.
Damn it. How did I miss that?
Zane focused his energy and destroyed the tracking bubble. Right after that, he used all his power to fly as fast as he could. The moment the bubble disappeared, Mendez reacted quickly. He gritted his teeth and sped up to an amazing speed. Zane was shocked to see Mendez catch up to him in just 10 minutes.
How could a mere third-stage intermediate-level pup have beaten one of our guys? Or maybe there are others hiding around here.
With a loud boom that split the air, Mendez went even faster, finally catching up to Zane. His angry yell broke the quiet evening.
Stop right there, punk!
As Mendez shouted, a small green snake, about 3 meters long, appeared above and attacked Zane with deadly intent. At that crucial moment, something white shot out from Zane's sleeve. It was Billy who knocked the green snake off course mid-attack. Stopped by this unexpected defense, Zane turned to face Mendez directly.
Did you kill Mr. Wen?
If you're talking about that old fart, yeah, I killed him.
Zane's response was devoid of hesitation or attempt at deception.
Well, aren't you honest? For that, I'll be nice. And make sure you don't suffer too much.
As Mendez spoke, he took out a long, crimson spear. The weapon shimmered ominously before erupting into a storm of flames. The spear's movement defied comprehension, its speed so great it was unnoticeable to the naked eye. In a split second, it was about to impale Zane's chest. Had Zane not recently mastered the power of wind, a skill that had sharpened his senses, he would have been a goner from this lightning-fast assault.
Sword shield manifest.
A translucent barrier of cyan sword energy materialized, blocking the devastating attack. The impact was so fierce that Zane felt the searing heat of the golden and crimson flames, even through his defense.
Thunderbolt. Fist unleash.
Their clash sent a dazzling display of sparks in all directions, sounding like a giant blacksmith's forge. Parallel to this intense confrontation, another duel unfolded, Billy versus the diminutive Green Serpent. In comparison to the cataclysmic exchange between Zane and Mendez, Billy's encounter seemed almost playful. While this intense fight was going on, another battle was happening, Billy versus the small green snake. Compared to Zane and Mendez's epic clash, Billy's fight looked almost like child's play.
Master, let me help you.
Just as Billy was about to jump in and help Zane, she realized he didn't need it. With an expert sword strike, Zane had already gotten the upper hand, leaving Mendez' arms all cut up and bleeding. Another precise hit from Zane almost cut Mendez in half. Billy's voice broke through the chaos, stopping Zane from delivering the final blow.
Wait! Don't kill him, Master. I've got a way to get the truth out of him.
What? What are you talking about?
Zane looked a bit uncertain for a moment. Seeing Zane hesitate for a second, Mendez snapped out of it and tried to run away.
Trying to run away? You won't get far.
With astonishing speed, Zane closed the distance, systematically shattering Mendez' limbs before dragging him back to their original position. Zane roughly threw Mendez to the ground before turning back to Billy, looking curious.
What's your plan, Billy?
Do you have any demon cores, Master? If I could get back to my old strength, I could use my seduction technique to charm him into spilling all his secrets.
Seduction technique, huh? I didn't know you could do that.
It became clear that Billy had been diligently working to heal her injuries during their travels. She had already reached the 9th stage of the foundation level, almost back to her former strength. Without hesitating, Zane pulled out several Skywolf demon cores, which Billy ate up quickly. As she absorbed the core's power, she started to get stronger. After half a day of intense focus, Billy successfully broke through, ascending to the first stage of the intermediate level. A soft, pink luminescence enveloped Billy. As it faded, she stood transformed into a stunning beauty, her figure captivating to behold. She gracefully walked towards the injured Mendez.
A member of the Demon Clan? Impossible. How does your alliance have such beings?
Panic flashed across Mendez's face as he recognized the true identity of Billy.
Ha! Nice try, demon girl. I'd rather die than fall for your tricks. Your seduction won't work on me.
Mendez snorted and looked away, trying hard to resist Billy's influence. However, in the next instant, a burst of peachy pink energy shot from Billy's rose-tinted eyes, piercing Mendez's consciousness. Mendez visibly shuddered and his eyes went blank, completely falling under Billy's spell.
He's under my spell now, Master. You can start asking questions.
That was remarkably quick.
Zane sounded a bit doubtful, but he approached their captive anyway.
What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Mendez from the Great Eastern Palm.
Zane's spirit soared as he witnessed the potency of Billy's seduction technique. Feeling confident, he pressed on with his questioning.
Why are you sneaking around in the eastern prairie grasslands?
Mendez's face was blank as he answered in a monotone voice.
We're the advance team for the Great Eastern Palm's army. We're here to spy on the enemy's military and check out the Tiger Earth Cave.
So the Great Eastern Palm is planning an invasion. How big is your army, Mendez? And what's so special about the Tiger Earth Cave?
We've got 1 million soldiers. I don't know about the identities of the intermediate level martial artists among us. Our mission to the Tiger Earth Cave revolves around a rendezvous with our group leader.
The mention of a group leader piqued Zane's interest. It seemed Mendez was but a pawn taking orders from higher-ups. This invasion, Zane realized, was far more intricate than it appeared on the surface. He took a moment to think about what this all meant. Though Zane pressed for further details, Mendez didn't have much else useful to say. Having extracted all useful information, Zane commanded the enthralled Mendez to end his own life. A thorough examination of Mendez's storage ring revealed a collection of mundane materials, much like those found on the elderly cultivator earlier. No documents of strategic importance were present.
Looks like I've got to sneak into the Tiger Earth Cave myself. But how do I do it without getting caught?
Among Mendez's possessions, Zane discovered a detailed map of the Tiger Earth Cave. While he could potentially mimic Mendes's cultivation techniques and combat style, perfectly replicating his appearance and voice remained beyond his capabilities.
I can't just waltz in as myself. That group leader Mendes mentioned would see right through me.
Zane looked at Billy, suddenly getting an idea.
Billy, is there any way I could disguise myself to look like Mendes?
Of course. Magic would work best.
That's not gonna work. I don't have time to learn complicated magic. Any other ideas?
Billy thought hard for a moment, and then her face lit up with an idea.
I've got it. We can make a mask from demon beast hide. I've made them before. Let me make one for you.
After 3 days of careful work, Billy showed Zane a mask she'd made. True to her word, it was a perfect replica of Mendes's face. Not only could Zane now mimic Mendes's appearance, but he could also emulate his cultivation level. They were about the same size too, which helped. If he wore Mendes's clothes and was careful how he moved, he had a good chance of not getting caught. With his disguise complete, Zane set off towards the heart of the Eastern Prairie. Zane flew boldly through open skies, confident that his uncanny resemblance to Mendes would shield him from suspicion should he encounter other Great Eastern Palm operatives. As dust settled over the land, Zane arrived at the Tiger Earth Cave. The cave's entrance was an impossibly deep pit that from above appeared as an endless void of darkness. The surrounding area was eerily devoid of life, not even demonic beasts daring to venture near.
Have the others gone in already, or am I first? Better be patient and watch for a bit.
Zane kept watch for a whole day. The next morning as the sun came up, a beautiful woman flew down from the sky. The newcomer radiated the power of the 6th stage of the intermediate level. Her bright green eyes were a dead giveaway that she was from the Great Eastern Palm. Upon noticing Zane, the woman's demeanor grew serious. She approached him and asked,
"Were you dispatched by the group leader?"
Yes, I was.
"My name is Vinny."
Mendes.
After this short talk, they both went quiet and took their positions. Zane had planned to talk a lot to get information, but the serious mood messed up his plans. He realized that in this tense situation, talking too much would just make people suspicious and could blow his cover. 2 hours later, another person joined them, a young guy named Harley, who was at the 7th stage of the intermediate level. The heavy silence continued, and Zane couldn't get any useful info through a casual chat as he'd hoped. As they stood in the hot midday sun, someone new showed up. A young guy, maybe in his early 20s, appeared in the sky. He was strong too, at the 5th stage of the intermediate level. A confident smile played across his lips as he surveyed the assembled group.
Thanks for waiting, Harley, Vinny, and Mendes. It's time. Let's head into the Tiger Earth Cave.
Without saying anything else, he walked straight towards the big cave entrance. The way he casually used everyone's names made it clear. This had to be Nectar, the mysterious group leader Mendes had mentioned. Suddenly, Nectar stopped walking and turned to look closely at his 3 companions. His brow furrowed as he spoke.
Something seems off about you 3. You're acting weird.
Zane felt his muscles tighten without meaning to. Did this mean the 3 knew each other better than he thought? Had Vinny already noticed something off about his disguise? If so, why hadn't she said anything? Or maybe Vinny hadn't noticed the deception at all.
We'll figure this out later. Let's head inside the cave now.
Nectar smoothly jumped down into the Tiger Earth Cave. Harley, who didn't talk much, gave Zane a quick look before following. Vinny and Zane went in last, and the 4 of them slowly made their way into the dark cave. Out of nowhere, Nectar Blaine's eyes started glowing with a creepy green light in the darkness. Zane was horrified to see both Harley and Vinny's eyes light up the same way.
Damn it. Do all these Great Eastern Palm guys have this ability? Lucky I can do it too.
Summoning his vital energy, Zane focused it on his eyes. A pale bluish-green glow came from his pupils. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was close enough to keep his cover. For now. After what felt like forever going down, they finally reached the bottom of the cave. In front of them was a huge passageway, so big it was hard to describe. Calling it just a corridor wouldn't do it justice. It was like they found a whole new world underground. It was so quiet that even breathing sounded loud.
Vinny, lead the way.
On it.
Vinny took the lead, holding an old map. Zane and Harley flanked Nectar, forming a protective perimeter. After 10 minutes of cautious progress, the faint sound of flowing water reached their ears. The darkness underground was overwhelming. However, each member of the party possessed unique cultivation techniques that allowed them to navigate the dangerous terrain easily. After crossing a hidden river, the group came out onto a flat area that glowed with a weird, otherworldly light. Suddenly, a terrifying roar shattered the eerie calm of the Tiger Earth Cave.
Be on your guard!
With lightning reflexes, Harley put himself between Nectar and the unseen threat. The next moment, from the pitch-black darkness ahead, two blood-red eyes appeared. As the creature emerged from the darkness, they saw a monstrous white tiger demonic beast, standing a full 2 meters at the shoulder. Its body was a patchwork of battle scars, and one ear had been savagely torn away, leaving only a ragged stump.
At last, we found you. Harley, Vinny, catch that beast.
No sooner had the words left his lips than Harley and Vinny sprang into action. They unleashed a barrage of devastating punches and palm strikes against the creature. Knowing he had to keep up his act, Zane jumped in to help. He manifested Mendes's red spear in his hand and secretly used the power of the Thunderbolt Fist. The Thunderbolt Fist's flames danced along the spear as Zane lunged forward, stabbing at the demon beast with deadly accuracy. The demonic beast, already badly hurt, didn't stand a chance against their team attack. Despite its impressive 5th stage intermediate level cultivation, it succumbed swiftly to the combined might of the 3 attackers. Within moments, they had pinned the beast before Nectar Blaine.
Ha! You can't run from us anymore, you beast!
With cold precision, Nectar produced a wickedly sharp knife. In one fluid motion, he plunged the blade into the demonic beast's elixir field, forcibly extracting its demon core. Zane was shocked. Could it be that Nectar Blaine's whole reason for this dangerous trip was just to hunt down this specific demon beast and take its demon core? The brutality and seeming waste of it all really bothered him. Zane felt confused and uneasy as he tried to figure out what their real goal was. After getting what he wanted, Nectar Blaine rudely grabbed the map from Vinny and started walking in a direction that seemed planned out. The other 3 had little choice but to fall in line and follow. As they went deeper into the maze-like cave, they suddenly ran into a massive group of demonic beasts. Each creature bore the distinctive markings of Tiger Earth Cave demons, and all boasted a cultivation level of at least the 3rd stage of the intermediate level.
Kill them! Leave none standing!
Zane's mind raced, his suspicions mounting with each passing moment.
What's Nectar up to? He's acting strange. Has he uncovered some hidden truth about this place?
Despite their own misgivings, Harley and Vinny launched themselves into the fray without hesitation. They tore through the ranks of demonic beasts with ruthless efficiency. In just a few moments, the cave turned into a scary scene of violence. Blood splattered on the glowing walls, creating a creepy, pulsing light show that made the whole scene even more surreal and horrifying.
Why are you holding back, Mendes? Is something wrong?
Nectar Blaine stared hard at Zane, his face unreadable. Zane could feel sweat flowing down the back of his neck. His mind was racing, but he kept a poker face. His grip on the red spear tightened as 1,000 possible scenarios flashed through his mind. Should he take out Nectar now and run for it? Nectar's cultivation, while formidable at the 4th stage of the intermediate level, paled in comparison to Zane's true strength. Killing him would be easy, but if Zane did that, he'd never find out what the Great Eastern Palm was really up to. After what felt like forever but was really just 5 seconds, Zane made up his mind. With a loud yell, he jumped into the fight, joining the others in killing the demon beasts. Though spear techniques were not his forte, Zane's extensive combat experience allowed him to wield the weapon with deadly effectiveness. He swept the spear in wide arcs, each movement precise and lethal. A terrifying aura of spear radiance emanated from the weapon, generating mini hurricanes that blew through the entire chamber. 3 unfortunate demonic beasts fell victim to his onslaught, their bodies torn apart by the sheer force of his strikes. Across the battlefield, Harley and Vinny unleashed the full extent of their martial prowess. Within minutes, over 20 of the creatures lay lifeless at their feet. As the fight came to a close, Nectar Blaine smiled in a weird way. He walked up to the group, clapping slowly.
Impressive work, all of you. By the way, Mendes, how is your team doing?
Nectar's full attention was focused on Zane, his piercing gaze seeming to strip away all pretense.
My team? They ran into some Seven Kingdoms Alliance guys at the edge of the Eastern Prairie. Last I heard, they were chasing them. Should be all taken care of by now unless something went wrong.
Zane fought to maintain his composure, but inwardly his heart raced. He was more and more sure that Nectar suspected something was off about him. At that moment, Zane had a crazy idea. Could he maybe separate Nectar from Vinny and Harley in this maze-like cave? If he could pull that off, it might be his big chance in this dangerous game of pretend. Before Zane could do anything, Nectar Blaine turned to Vinny and asked her the same question. Vinny's response came without hesitation, her tone calm and assured.
Everything's going as planned on my end, sir.
Great news! In that case, it's time for you to die.
Suddenly, things got crazy. Nectar went from friendly to murderous in a split second. He shot a blast of energy right at Vinny's torso. The deadly projectile detonated with concussive force. But Vinny was quick. She deftly evaded the attack, putting distance between herself and the suddenly hostile group. Zane's head was spinning, trying to make sense of what just happened. Why did Nectar Blaine attack one of his own people? Shouldn't Zane be the one he's suspicious of? As Zane was getting more confused, Nectar Blaine's face twisted into an angry sneer. His killing intent was evident in the charged atmosphere of the cavern.
You're not Vinny. Who are you, imposter? What did you do to the real Vinny?
The news hit Zane like a punch. If this woman wasn't really Vinny, who was she? The fake Vinny, caught by surprise at being found out so fast, let out a mean laugh before answering.
If you're so keen to know what happened to Vinny, why don't I send you to meet her in the afterlife?
With those ominous words, she launched herself at Nectar, murderous intent clear in her every movement.
Grab that imposter now!
Everything happened so fast that Zane's head was spinning. It was shocking. Nectar Blaine had been suspicious of Vinny all along, not him. If this woman wasn't the real Vinny, who was she really? An enemy of Nectar Blaine? Someone from a rival group in the Great Eastern Palm? Pushing his confused thoughts aside, Zane knew he had to do something. As long as nobody had figured out his real identity, he could use this crazy situation to his advantage. With this realization, Zane sprang into action, swinging his borrowed spear as he rushed forward to fight the exposed fake Vinny.